Huzzah, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the BBC Spews Live. It's a bit early, isn't it? There we go. How's it going? Yeah, it's the 4th of May at this point, right? Crikey. I'm still not used to doing the dates the wrong way around. Welcome to the show. It's the BBC Spews Live. It's the 4th, and it's a bit early because I've got to go and drive and pick my missus up. So, yeah, there is that. But I thought I'd do one anyway, because who cares? It might be a bit quieter, but it's Saturday, and that's the day I stream. Loads of good stuff going on to talk about, as usual, because the world's gone completely tonto and everything's mental. And it culminated this morning in me turning on my phone to have a look at the election results and seeing a full-fledged jihadi going mental, shrieking in that sort of shrill, mildly strange and scary way, where the voice goes all, yeah, because they mean it, because they really mean it. They love but not Jibu, Mighty Mo. You can't say his name or you get banned. And giving it the old hello, shouting about the snack bar after winning an election in fucking Leeds. Makes loads of sense, doesn't it? Makes loads of sense. Like, the roads are fucked, the schools are full, you can't get a dentist appointment, you can't get a doctor's appointment, there's rapists and murderers and pedos and burglars roaming the streets, and the coppers are busy worried about what you've typed on Twitter, and this bloke's shouting about a fucking conflict 8,000 miles away. Makes loads of sense, doesn't it? Makes loads of sense. Anyway, who's in the chat? Now then, Mark Thompson's in, Acoustic Abuse, Zardoz, Amzello, Magical Muppet, Sums, John Higginson, Carol Wardropper, Rattle Mike, Kate, thanks for moderating, Joe X, how are you? Derek McManus, Magical Puppet, Furq, Mankind's Prophet. Oh no, Mankind's Prophet, I was worried there. I thought Mighty Mo's followers were in. Thank fuck for that. I told you that. That's the single best thing about living in California, is you never, ever see one of those beardy weirdies shouting about the fucking what's going on the Gaza Strip. It's so weird how these... I mean, I know that there are now have a high enough minority, right? They're a very sizable minority that can win elections easily because we're all pissed off and totally despondent, don't bother voting, and they religiously all go vote for the same people. As I told you, everybody plays identity politics except us. It's a bit of a shame, but I can't complain about it too much because I've always admired that about us. Like I said, I always said they'll miss the Americans when the Chinese rule the world. They'll miss the English. We're such a nice people. Like, when I was a kid growing up, when you're a bairn growing up in the UK, you don't even think about this stuff, do you? You don't, like... If you need your hair cutting, you go to whichever barber's closest to your house. Or if you want to go and get some candy, some sweets, you go straight to the local Joe Dacky shop and you don't even think about it. The one lived around the corner from me nana, Bashies. I used to always go to Bashies and have a bit of crack with him and get some candy when I was a kid. And, yeah, you never even thought about it. But everybody else, the 4B2s and the Joe Dackies and the fucking Caribbeans and everybody else, they all love the clicks, don't they? And they only go to the... Like, if you're a Pakistani bloke, you go to the Pakistani hairdressers. You won't get a guy like me cutting your hair because they actually have aggressively played this game and we never have. And it's done us in, hasn't it? I mean, as I said, I'm black-pilled. I think the UK is totally fucked and there's nothing we can do about it. But as I said, the only plus point I can take from it is they'll definitely miss us. And I think that English communities will sprout up all around the world, kind of like they have in England. And then what's going to happen is, in about 40 years' time, the UK is going to be a fucking slum. And they'll miss us. And then, wherever we've went around the world and popped up our little communities, they'll fucking turn up again. So, what they'll do is, they'll turn the UK into a fucking slum. And then, in 2070, they'll all go, fucking all them English blokes have made a go of it in that nice colony they made in the middle of a fucking dust bowl. Let's go there. And then they'll go back to the dust bowl, and then we'll all fuck off back to England. It'll be all on fire and full of dog shit. And then we'll build it back up again. And then in 2140, they'll all go from the dust bowl back to it. It'll be like an endless cycle. We'll just keep moving. Generations and generations. And every time we go somewhere and turn nice, they'll come and follow it and fuck it all up and introduce all of their infighting. Do you know what I mean? 2070 will have turned Airstrip 1 will be in the middle of some fucking dust bowl. It'll be super nice. And then a load of Palestinians and 4B2s will turn up and start stabbing the shit out of each other and fuck everything up. And then we'll go back to the UK and tidy up. It'll be like tidying up a very untidy teenager's bedroom. You know, with dog shit everywhere and fucking used Johnnies and needles all over the spot. Well, and your great grandkids will just have to go with a bin liner and fucking tidy it all up. It'll just be an endless cycle. It's all right in the long run. And we'll have kicked the bucket, so I won't have to worry about it. Thank fuck I won't have to worry about it. Hopefully I'll flop into my grave soon enough and I won't have to worry about this shit anymore. So there is that. Every cloud. Oh my God, Joe Bart, look at the state of him. He's totally fucked. All they've got, right, is this bollocks celebrity worship in it. Like, oh, like this one's talking about like Leeds, they're going on about the Gaza Strip. And Biden's made a fucking dog's breakfast of America since he took over. Oh, I know what we'll do. Let's just put Mark Hamill on his fucking Twitter. Like, do some work, you useless old twat. It's all they've got, innit? It's all they've got. And this is what I'm saying, because we've just got this degenerate society. People think this is good. 21,000 likes. Get in. Get in. He's not doing any actual work. But look, he's got fucking Luke Skywalker warmed up. I mean, what's good about that?
Always.
Look at the state of them. Two old, clueless cunts. And yeah, apparently this is brilliant. Do some fucking work. Was it cold in the ground this morning, Joe? Jesus fucking wept. It's mad. But as I said, don't you think it's quite fascinating how the geniuses that everybody talks about, people like Orwell and Huxley, they were both right, weren't they? Think of that. Because, like Brave New World, the authoritarian dystopia was ran by sort of pleasure and hedonism. And 1984 was ran by fear and authoritarian, like genuine, like oppression, aggressive in-your-face oppression. And what we've got now is like a mixture, a toxic mixture of the two, because they were both right, weren't they? Like the police act like the Stasi, or just as bad as in any dystopian nightmare, or like V for Vendetta or 1984. Like the police act like that. Did you see them carting a bloke off and throwing him in the back of the van because he had an England flag today? That was on 2CTV. It's like an unholy mix of the two, isn't it? So, like, if you think about it, they were both totally right, because there's elements of it that are just like 1984, where they act like the fucking Stasi or the Gestapo, and they just drag you away. If you have an England flag, they just drag you away. They treat you with fucking the rule by fear and by diktat. But at the same time, sort of Huxley's vision's true, because look at this, like this proves it. Like people are just getting distracted all the time by shite. Like, who gives a fuck about Mark Hamill? May the fourth be with you. What are you talking about? What's that got to do with anything? Like, there's all sorts of shit going on. And you're just thinking, I'll put this clueless, brain-dead geriatric on Twitter and he'll talk to an aging, fucking talentless hack like fucking Mark Hamill. And it'll get 22,000 likes and everyone will go, oh, yeah, nice one. What do you mean, nice one? Like, we've got war, endless war all around the world. Yemen's fucked. Ukraine's fucked. Gaza's fucked. And it's this. Do you know what I mean? So it's like a mixture of the two. Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. It's it's like the Saw and any variant of it, because there's been dozens of variants of it, right? Like Demolition Man's another classic. They see them and they go, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. They're doing all of it. The UK is proper like a fucking dystopian hellscape now. Like watching you everywhere you go, CCTV all over. That's the Orwellian part. CCTV cameras everywhere. Coppers watching you all the time. Coppers aggressively penalising and, like I said, arresting that bloke for having an England flag. Arresting people for mean tweets. Thousands and thousands. More people got arrested last year for tweeting and Facebook comments than they did in Russia for tweeting and Facebook comments. So there's all that Orwellian shite, and then they just distract you with, oh, look, here's Love Island. Sadiq Khan's won again. It's ludicrous. So there you fucking go. Call me a miserable twat. I don't care. Where's the... I wanted to find a video of that guy, the Green Party candidate, going fucking radio rental. Where is he? It was beauty anyway. It's like an election in Leeds. Bloke was going fucking mental. Congratulations to Sadiq. The lies he's had to endure. He's a fucking rat. He even looks like a rat. Proper done, doesn't he? If the beak on him. Hunger strike for Palestine. Fuck off. Princeton students. This is what I'm talking about. You're in America, in an American university. You've got shit to worry about. What you bothered for? Get on with your life, for fuck's sake. Lawrence Fox is leaving London. Clarkson's Farm 3's out. I did actually like Clarkson's Farm. I never thought I'd fucking find agriculture so entertaining. Labour performed brilliantly because they won. Terribly because they won. The Tories performed brilliantly because they lost. The press, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, well, that is weird, isn't it? Here we are. Constantine's posted it. Look at that. This is Gipton and Hare Hills. Look at this cunt. Fucking lunatic.
Raise the voice of Palestine! Allahu Akbar!
Innit? You have to laugh. Like,
raise the voice of Palestine! Allahu Akbar!
Like, just like indistinguishable from a bloke with a hissing fucking backpack. And that's what people are worried about in Leeds now. Like, a fucking lunatic. Class, innit? Like, definitely not unhinged, him, is he? I wish he was my local councillor. He'd be like, here, can we, any chance we can get this pothole fixed? Hello! All right, fucking hell. That's what I keep joking about it. No, that's why Alan's snack bar is definitely the greatest snack bar. Their fucking breakfast must be top of the pile because they are always shouting about him. Doesn't matter what's going on, where you are in the world, what topic you're talking about. They're fucking always shouting about Alan. So get yourself in there for a fucking full English. Right? Is this them all going mental outside as well? It's fucking amazing. Like they're in a fucking third world country. Look at that, like, and you can tell it's about wielding political power because who gives a fuck? Like, have you ever seen people celebrating that much when some boring middle class arsehole wins an election somewhere? They're all like, get in, now we can get a gobble above kebab shop and no one will do anything about it again. Get in, fucking mint. So yeah, that's good. Love that. God help us all. Yes, Paz. God help us all. Fucking, what's this shit? You know what? One of the worst things about this fucking era that we live in is this type of shit. Like, I was telling my missus the other day, I'm sick of seeing fucking dancing. Why are people dancing all the time? I'll be in the gym and some advert that's got nothing to do with anything. Fucking deodorant or I don't know, a restaurant, chicken wings. Everyone's fucking dancing all the time. It does my head in. Like, oh, look, you can save some money. And then there's like two black guys going, dancing. I'm like, fucking fucking dancing. It all started when they started doing it at the football. Bastard dancing. Score a goal, do a fucking dance. I'm sick of seeing people dancing. Like, if you're not on a dance floor, back in fucking dancing. I've had enough of it. I remember telling me Nana that about my old Nana fucking, again, just thought everything was mental. Because she was fucking normal. I remember telling me Nana I was about 10. I bet some of you will remember it. I remember being about 10 and seeing an advert for Chicken Tonight. It probably was about 1989. And it used to go, I feel like chicken tonight. And there was a bloke dancing with a fucking plate in front of him, right? And I was whistling it or something in the kitchen. And my Nana said, what's that tune off? I've heard it somewhere. And I said, oh, it's off that fucking advert where there's a bloke dancing with a chicken. And she said, what do you mean dancing with a chicken? I said, he's got a plate and he sort of dances with it. And she goes, fuck off, you tapped you. I said, I'm not, I'm telling you, it's on the telly. So the next time it came on, I was like, Nana, that fucking advert's on. And she came running in. And there's a bloke dancing with a plate. And she was like, who writes this shite? I remember my Nana saying to me that when I was like 10. I was like, yeah, who writes this shit? And I was 10, I was like, oh, why is my Nana so grumpy? And now I'm 44. I'm like, yeah, fucking dancing. I hate dancing as well. If it's two professionals dancing a fucking foxtrot, fair enough, I'll watch it. But I'm sick of seeing cunts dancing. Dancing when you score a goal, dancing on the adverts, dancing in the fucking street like an absolute fucking raver. Look at the cunt. It's like, what are you, 30 years old, you sad bastard? Christ almighty, get a grip. It fucking does my head in. I told you, bass Nana, everyone says that about me Nana. My Nana was fucking rock. I told you, right, my Nana bumped into, this is a fucking true story because I bet you can Google it. Mate of hers got murdered by a piece of shit called Colin Jennison. And she was a friend of my Nana's. And she got murdered by her husband. He killed her, set the house on fire. And then because the UK is a joke and there's no justice and there never has been, he only did about 6 years for murdering his wife because they said he had throat cancer, so they let him out early. And he lived for fucking years after he got it. 3 or 4 years, I think. And my Nana bumped into him in the supermarket. And he said, hello, Hilda. And she went, yeah, fucking murdering cunt. And started proper, like, going to town on him in the middle of the fucking shop. Like, you know what I mean? She wasn't the type who would, like, ooh, nowadays they'd have a fucking panic attack. Go, break down in the corner somewhere, microaggressions. My Nana was just like, yeah, fucking asshole. Just started torturing him in the middle of the shop and he scuttled off with his tail between his legs, the fucking rat. But I wish I was with her. I think I'd have been about 15 or something. I'd have fucking headbutted the cunt. So that was a good one. PTSD. Oh, she used to twat us and everything. Well, I told you that, didn't I? Because what happened was when my mum got sick when I was like 7 or 8 when she got bad, Nana moved in to look after us. She basically raised me and my brother. And my dad said to her, because we used to gob off at her because we were like, rambunctious lads. And she said, I twat them and they just laugh at me now. This is when we were teenagers. So my dad said, hit them with summit. And she was like, what do you mean? He went, anything, use fucking weapons. She was like, weapons? He went, yep, anything. Twat them with any fucking thing that's to hand. Shovel, baseball bat, whatever you want. Just twat them with stuff. And my Nana took that fucking advice to heart and twatted us with all sorts. She stabbed my brother at least twice. So I used to call her Stabber because she threw a steak knife at him and it stuck in the meat of his thigh. And I was crying, laughing while he was fucking bleeding on the floor. So yeah, I used to knock the shite out of us. And it's quality. This is what I tell you what's funny as well. Everything's about your attitude, positive mental attitude, because once me brother-in-law had a bit of a meltdown. He was like crying because I don't want to bore you with the details, family shit, but crying, like telling us about his dad being a bit mean to him. He was like, oh yeah, he was mean to him. I was like, how was he mean? And my missus was like, oh yeah, maybe he hit him. As she said, I don't think he ever hit us, but he might have slapped him once or like, washed his mouth out with soap when he swore or something. And I was like, My nana stabbed my brother on multiple occasions, and my dad used to headbutt us. It's like, and we view this as amusing. Like, you know what I mean? It's all about your attitude. So there's all these people out there who cry about PTSD and fucking all these bad things that happen to them. And me and my brother and my dad will go for a pint when I go home. And we laugh about the time he knocked the fucking shite out of him. Like, because my brother thought he was an hard man when he was about 17 and he squared up to me dad. And my dad he pushed him and my dad backed off and went, fucking hell, what's that there? And like pointing at something on his shirt. And my brother looked down to have a check and then my dad loafed him and fucking laid him out in the front room. And he was like, I can't believe you fell for that one, you daft cunt. And we all have a chuckle about that now, like, haha, that was funny. Basically, borderline, probably not even borderline, full-blown child abuse. And we all have a chuckle about it now and go, hey, that was funny. It's like, being a victim is a fucking choice. Somebody said this recently, like, you know, boomer. And they're all going mental, say, oh my God, he's victim blaming, oh my fucking God. And he wasn't being a cunt at all. This is like, you're talking about me dad or me granny. Like, they're not being cunts, they're trying to be helpful. Just saying being a victim is a choice. And they're like, victim shaming, It's like, no, there is a large element of it that is a choice. You can look back at the fucking rigours of your life with a sense of humour. Or you can cry about it. Or as I said, my favourite quote, right, because it's all in your head, is Sean Connery off The Rock. Losers always whine about how life isn't fair. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen. Right? Right? Stop being a fucking pussy. This is what I keep saying. The world's fucked. And the UK's fucked. But so what? Still going to have a sense of humour about it. Right? Despair is a fucking choice. I won't despair. I know the limits of my own power. I'm not deluded. I don't think we can stop total civilizational fucking collapse. But I'm not going to cry about it, you fucking pussies. I'm going to get on with my life. And I'm going to laugh while it falls to fucking bits. And I'm going to do my best to be the last one breathing. As I said, even nuclear war wouldn't bother me that much. Because as long as I know Owen fucking Jones is a lot more miserable than I am, I will have a fucking stalk on while the nukes rain down. That's all. Hatred for my enemies is all that fucking matters. Remember me missus telling me that when I was saying, because I'm a bit of a prepper now, you know what I mean? I've got loads of shit. Fucking gallons of water in the garage and fucking rack packs and ammunition and shit. And my missus is like, why are you so bothered? Like, don't you think you'd like to die if the whole world was going to shit? Like, don't you think you'd be better off like going out first when all the fucking missiles come raining down? Like, if nearly everyone's dead and you've got nothing and there's no anything and the infrastructure's gone and you've got no, don't you think you'd be better off being in the first wave that caught up? And I was like, no, definitely not. Gotta fucking outlive my enemies. I said, all I care about is lasting longer than the fucking enemies so I can piss on the grave. And she was like, who's got enemies? Like, I take it personally. I was like, I view people like Jon Snow and fucking Owen Jones as my personal foes. Keir Starmer. Like, I'm not that bothered about having a long and happy life. I just want to live long enough to piss on his grave. So it's like, yeah, I'm all right. I just want to outlive the people I despise. It's fine. This is like yeah, this is like like Chris Thrall, just like motivational speaking. This is like the doomers version of it. Like, I'm trying to perk your spirits up, but insisting that we are totally fucked. You know what I mean? Like Joel Osteen's like, yeah, everything's going to be great, positivity. I'm saying be positive by not being a total fucking pussy as everything falls to bits. Like, I'm basically telling you, your country is going to get taken over by suicide bombers, but we just have to laugh about it. So, bit weird. It's motivational speaking of a kind, I suppose. Right, anyway, what good news is there other than Russ is watching the football? Oh no, it's the Army Navy. Fucking hell. Army Navy. I can't even get into that anymore. Because even that's sort of annoying. It doesn't look like it used to. Probably fucking make them all old hands at the end now. Although, the Navy, probably into shit like that. Hey, there's a few fucking officers in there. They're normally soft as shite. There's a couple in there, and a Captain Ayler. Still mostly bootnecks, like. Ah, well. Good luck, lads. Who's that? Cockney Nana. Islamists won in Bradford. Yeah, well, we knew they would. Of course they fucking would. It's almost arousing, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we can agree on that, can't we, you lefty cunt? We can agree on that, it's good. This guy's a fucking idiot. Have you ever seen... How do these people get on the telly in the first place? What's this thick twat saying? Let's have a listen. I hate him, Matthew Stadler, the ginger fucking mog. Listen, let's see what he's got to say.
This country have not crossed continents and risked their lives trying to cross the channel in order to commit crimes in Britain. I mean, that would be the most narcissistic and bizarre view of our own world, to suggest that people are coming here to commit crimes, to disrupt local communities. Of course, where you find human beings, you will find some criminals. We know that. And when an asylum seeker or an economic migrant commits a crime, the right-wing media will jump all over that. And that sends out a radicalizing signal to people up and down Britain. Danger, danger. Actually, these are hugely vulnerable, many of them extremely brave human beings. Do I have sympathy for the protesters? I happen not to agree with their idea that there shouldn't be borders. I think borders are important. But I do have sympathy for them wanting to protect these people from a fate that might involve going to Rwanda, not in the case of yesterday, but might involve, in the short term, going to the Bibby Stockholm barge. Conditions there are so bad that someone who was working on the barge says that she was given fewer shifts because she was being friendly to some of those who were living there. We know that it is incredibly bad for people's mental health. It's described as having airport security on that barge. Anyone watching today, I ask you to consider whether you would want to go to the Bibby Stockholm. Just one final thought. Do I have sympathy for the authorities in clamping down on people who...
Can't listen to him anymore. Fucking idiot. The reason he's talking, right, is because of this story. Right, you'll fucking love this one. From the Zimbabwe Mail. Right? Even the Zimbabweans think we're fucking mentally ill. Because you couldn't make this shit up. Everything they say is wrong. Everything they say is wrong. They wouldn't come here and commit crimes. Why would they do that? Because they're predators. It's like when these thick twats say, oh, no one's gonna, like, put a bit of lippy and a dress on just so they can rape women. Really? Sounds like a good idea to me. If I was a fucking rapist, I'm not gonna risk doing it in an alley where some bloke might see me. What I want to do is like a fox in a henhouse. Get where there's a load of defenceless women and fucking have at it. How thick are these people? It annoys me that they even put them on the telly, because I think if you put like 99 out of 100 people in front of them, they just say, fuck off. But I mean, look at this. So if anyone hasn't seen it, this is why they're questioning that thick ginger. Who even puts them on the telly? It speaks to an agenda that they're even put in positions to speak and address people. Because nobody sees things Matthew Stadler's fucking way. Like, if you stopped 100 bricklayers in the fucking street and said, do you think this bloke should be given asylum? 100 of them would say, are you fucking mental? That's not hyperbole. If you stopped 100 normal working class blokes in the street, plumbers, brickies, taxi drivers, window cleaners, and said, should a Zimbabwean who's got 68 convictions for drugs, violence and blackmail, should we take a look at someone like that and go, fuck it, we're keeping him? Should we? 100 would say, no. No. Sometimes, fuck no. But they'll put Matthew Stadler on television, a woke fucking activist, who nobody gives a shite what comes out of his mouth because he's got an head full of horse shit, and act as if this is some sort of, like, debate. They make all these people famous. Nobody wants to fucking listen to Matthew Stadler. Nobody agrees with fucking Matthew Stadler. Nobody thinks that the bloke with 68 convictions should be staying in the UK. But they'll make it like it's a debate, you know what I mean? Like it's something that's contentious and difficult to answer. Should abortion be legal? That's something we can debate. This shit, nobody debates it. It's absolute bollocks. Anyway, there he is. Splendid fucking gentleman. Looks like he's got his fucking 2 weeks dinner in his cheeks. He probably has. He's worried they're going to deport him, so he chewed up as many cheeseburgers as he could and fucking stored them. A man who has a dreadful record of dozens of serious convictions for drugs and violence has appeared before the courts yet again. Zimbabwean Ashley Simbrasha was before Northampton Crown Court this week on weapons charges. Yeah, nice bloke. Where it was revealed he was recently granted leave to remain in the UK despite the horrifying list of offences he has admitted to. Court was told he has 68 convictions across several counties. Spotted carrying a hammer and his mate carrying a wrench, followed the men causing a commotion. Attempted robbery, but the victim declined to cooperate, so they only got the offensive weapon charges. You can tell it's the fucking Zimbabwean paper, they can't spell. They don't look for typos. They're deaf-nendant. Maybe that's how they spell it out in Rhodesia. During that incident, he was arrested on other matters, found to be carrying a twisted cigarette between in penis. This is like fucking BBC Pigeon, isn't it? During that incident, was arrested on other matters and was found carrying a twisted cigarette between in penis and testicles, containing heroin and cocaine. He has an unenviable list of offences on his record, including robbery, supplying and smuggling drugs, dealing, several counties, knife possessions, failure to comply with court orders, shoplifting, possession, attack, and a roadside attack on a motorist, and hit a motorist with a hammer. So he twatted a fucking motorist with a hammer. What's the motorist who got twatted with a hammer think of all this? That's what I keep telling you. What about the people who are victims? There's victims of crimes. They never think of that. It's all about the fucking criminal. Oh, it's the victims of the crimes. Oh, fuck them. Let's worry about the bloke who does the hammer attacking. Christ almighty. Cocaine, hammer, jailed again. Smuggling drugs, jailed a year. Stole 2 vacuum cleaners. Fucking major incident. Just 2 options. Send the cunt back to Zimbabwe or throw him out of a helicopter above Lesotho. How's that sound? So that's brilliant, isn't it? This is what I'm talking about. But they'll put Matthew Stadler on the telly and he'll have the big debate. In the UK, we've always done this because these left-wing activists rule the fucking roost. They make out like everything's a big debate. Ooh, here's the big debate of the day. Should we deport career criminals? But if you were to stop 500 normal fucking people in the street and say, do you reckon we should bin this cunt in the sea? They'd all go, yeah, there is no debate. The fact that they pretend there's a debate proves that it's a psyop, that it is happening, that it's this agenda. It's bollocks. There is no debate. Nobody cares. Even the immigration debate. It's not a debate. They put fucking activists on television and pretend like it's a debate. If you go in a pub in Middlesbrough and there's 100 people in there and you think, should we have more immigration? 99 of them will say, fuck off, are you a mental cunt? And the only ones who'll say, yeah, more, will be one themselves because they want the mates to come over. I'll tell you what, that'll change that. If you ask 100 people in a pub in Middlesbrough that were actually born and raised there, they will say, fucking deport. Pass me the deport button, I'll do it myself. So it's not a debate. And have you noticed how all the shit he got jailed for was trifling shit? Smashed a bloke's face in with a hammer, got like 18 months for it. Print some stickers out saying historically accurate things, Like, St. Paul's Cathedral wasn't built by a bloke who looked like fucking Bob Marley. And you'll get 4 years for it. So, go and fucking figure that one out. I don't even know what's going on anymore. What else is going on? Oh, Carol Vorderman. I honestly do believe this is like, call me a cynical cunt, but I do believe they're all just doing it for their own sort of vanity to try and get famous. People like Chris Packham, there's a good example. People like Chris Packham and Carol Vorderman, like they're fourth-rate former celebrities who haven't got a career anymore. So, but they know if they start being a woke shill, they'll put them all on the telly again. So they start doing it, don't they? Chris Packham. Who the fuck's Chris Packham? He's on the Really Wild show in the 80s. He's a nobody. And then he starts being a climate activist, and they'll put him all over everything. And they'll put him on the BBC, and they'll put him on Channel 4, and they'll put him on the talk shows. And then lo and behold, you look at his Twitter these days, and he's wrote a book. So it's bollocks. As I said, it's all part of the fucking plan. These things aren't debated. Nobody cares. It's to make money for arseholes who nobody would give a flying fuck about. And selling his book. I'll write a book. I'm writing a book now because I'm a fucking woke activist. It's it's shite. And there he is, and he's retweeting Peter Tatchell's book of fucking degeneracy. Let's have a look at him on Twitter. This guy, like, who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is he? He's a nobody. So he starts being woke, and he's all over the telly again. Absolute cunt. And there he is, Peter Tatchell. This is the bloke who went on telly and said, fisting kids, that's all right, isn't it? That's right. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. But, yeah, it's Peter Tatchell's big book of dicks. That's what he's looking at. It is. It's all performative. I don't believe any of it. I reckon people like Peter Tatchell and Chris Packham and Carol fucking Vorderman all talk a good game, but they're all doing the same shit like Jimmy Carr, like looking for a tax advisor who can hide all the money in Monaco, not pay the way, and private jets everywhere flying all the time. They're always flying. Peter Tatchell and Chris Packham are always fucking flying. They don't want you to fly anywhere, and they don't want you to eat steak, but they'll do it. Well, especially Peter Tatchell, especially he likes fucking a 10-inch tube steak, that cunt. But you shouldn't be eating them. Yeah, that is what he said, yeah. 12-year-olds. He's on the record saying like, it can be good when a lad's getting rogered by a hairy ass bloke. Yeah, of course it can. Dead good. And this is the funny thing. I've been banned off Twitter about 6 times. He hasn't. As I'm saying, you can tell it's all part. Me, I do comical shit. It's just comedy. It's like taking the piss out of people, making jokes, and having a bit of banter. And they'll ban me. But if he goes on telly and says, you know what? I think it's all right when a 12-year-old sucks spunk out of a grown man's fucking ring piece. They go, yeah, that's all right. It's all right, just his opinion. What are you having a pub for, you bigoted bastard? Making jokes. And this is what Douglas Murray's talked about. When you start persecuting people that make jokes, that's when you know your fucking society's done. Because humour's like all we've got. We used to say, Bernard Mann used to go, they can't stop you laughing. Well, they fucking can now. They can stop you laughing. They can arrest you for tweets and Facebook posts and jokes. Try telling a racist joke, see how that goes down. But they won't arrest you for openly saying, bump some kids, boys. I mean, that's the world we're living in. You have to laugh. They'll ban you and they'll silence you and they'll lock you up. Them lads who got nicked for burning an effigy of Grenfell Tower, they're taking the piss, aren't they? It's blokes taking the piss. Well, you get arrested for that. But don't get arrested for saying, felching. That's a good idea, kids. You don't get arrested for sending a big hairy ass bloke in a fucking lingerie into a primary school and telling the kids, gobble your granddad. That's a good idea. Don't get arrested for that. And all the drugs and pills and shit. It's like you can take all the pills you want, snort rails off a bent copper's cock. You can promote all that fucking total perversion and degeneracy, but you can't tell jokes about it. Watch what you're saying. Philip Schofield, there's a fucking great example, isn't it? Philip, remember when I made that video taking the piss out of him? How right was I? That was years ago when I made my first video about Schofield, saying like, hang on, let's take stock of where we are. He lied, he cheated, he went behind his wife's back, he groomed a child, he bummed someone who wasn't 18 years of age. There was this laundry list of deeply immoral and often criminal acts. And when I made a video saying, bit weird that we lionize someone who's done all this, my video gets banned and I get a strike on my channel and I can't post for 2 weeks. But if you groom a child when you're almost a pensioner behind your wife's and daughter's backs and then you fucking roger them like a copper's radio in the fucking broom cupboard whilst poor old Ed the Duck has to watch, then you're a good guy. Right, poor old Gordon the fucking Gopher's got PTSD because he watched fucking Scoff bumming the shit out of the T-boy. Yeah, so that's the world we're living in. And as I said, you can whinge, but you have to laugh because that is funny. Like, that is funny. Jail for bants. Praised for nonsense. So you have to laugh. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. My mate served in the army with you. Who recommended your page? Who was that then? Who was that? Probably mate of mine. Obviously, there's a few hundred bootnecks who I fucking served with who I remember from me time. Amusingly, I actually texted me missus. I had a dream about I was back in training today. It's weird. I never dream about the war anymore. Those dreams stop very quickly. I had a few dreams after the most like dicey tour I did in Afghanistan. The second tour, I was doing like advanced to contact patrols. And for a couple of years afterwards, I'd occasionally have a dream about it, like fucking explosions and gunfire and shit. But it didn't bother me. It wasn't like on the movies where you wake up and go, fucking hell, punch your fucking wife in the throat. Used to just wake up and go, thank fuck that was a dream. You know what I mean? Never used to bother me. But I never dream about that anymore. I never dream about the wars, but I still to this day dream about I'm back at Limston, just about to go down the bottom field and get thrashed till my eyes bleed. And I'm like a balding, fat 44-year-old man. And I'm like, oh no, I can't do this anymore. I'm never going to get up the 30-foot rope. So it's kind of weird. It's led me to the opinion that obviously the training is far more harrowing and traumatic than the war. And ultimately, that's the point, isn't it? That surely is the point, because it never bothered me a jot and I've never had any mental health issues as a result. All the ones who get PTSD seem to be like fannies in like REMF regiment where they don't train them properly. If you didn't get trained properly and people start shooting at you, probably fuck you up a bit. If you did get trained properly and people start shooting at you, you go, I'm going to kill that cheeky twat. And that's that. I also, that'll give you PTSD. I saw Jimmy Savile once. I met him in the guard room at Limston. Because everyone knows he's a big hero in the corps. And didn't try to finger me. I guess I wasn't that attractive. That was hurtful. Jimmy didn't once try to slip a digit up my fucking ring while I was doing press-ups in the guard room. Graham. I know a few Grahams like. Hello from Dublin, Leanne. I have been picking on the Irish lately, but I'm sorry, but I can't help it. Like, fucking Ireland's as badly led as the UK. I thought the Irish were a bit more fucking sensible, but looking at that Helen fucking McKenty or whatever she's got, she is a fucking log. I wouldn't let her run me a bath. She is an absolute knobhead. So yeah, that's good. Anyway, I'm going to have to go and get a shower and brush my fucking teeth and sort my life out and go and pick my missus up. So that's that. We'll call it there. Thanks for turning up as usual. Apologies it was a bit early. I'm sure some of you twats will turn up later and you'll have to watch it after the fact. But all right. Thanks for coming. I'll make some more content next week. And sorry, Irish. You're not talking about me there, are you? You know that's one of my nicknames, Irish. No. No, Jimmy wasn't after bumming me. No, unfortunately. No, I wasn't his type. Anyway, all right. Yeah, thanks for watching. Keep smiling. They can't stop us laughing yet. Well, sometimes they can, but generally you get away with it. All right. Thanks for watching. See you all very soon. Have a good weekend. Get pissed, and I'll see you next week. Take it easy. See you later.